Hi guys, this is Sai Kumar Kurtiwada. In this video, we will learn about Angular 19 features. I'm so excited to introduce this Angular 19 features which were provided by Angular team. So let me quickly jump into other slides. So here we have the major thing that is standalone components or standalone directives. In our previous version, this standalone is a developer preview as well as it has some set of options which has been provided to create a standalone. Now standalone became a default for all our components, directives and pipes in Angular 19. If you want to configure that standalone not to be default, we can make some set of configurations which helps us to avoid the standalone components. But I recommend let's go with standalone. It is giving lot of features which are provided by our Angular team. And there is some other developer preview features that is nothing but route rendering controls. In SSR, that is server-side rendering, which helps us to increase the performance of our web application, they introduced the route configuration where certain components, whatever you want to use in the client side, you can make it as a client configuration, as well as whatever you want to render in server configurations, you can make that as server configurations. So that all can be configured now with our Angular 19, but still they are in developer preview. And coming to reactivity stable APIs, now they have introduced a complete input, output and view queries with a stable version of reactivity. In our previous version, they were in developer preview. As they got a very good output by using this input, output and view queries, they made this reactivity stable APIs, and they are still introducing some more reactivity APIs, that is nothing but signal based APIs. Now input, output and view queries, you can make it as a signal based APIs. We will learn each and every concept in depth in separate videos. They also introduced HRM in CSS styles. For example, if you want to make an application and whenever you change something, hot reload module is not possible with CSS before. Now it is possible with CSS. We will learn with a clear understanding with our examples in our upcoming videos. In this video, I'll just concentrate what are the features which has been introduced by Angular 19. So let me go into another slide. Here they have provided some set of migration commands which helps us to migrate our whole application with signal input migration, query migration and output migration. For example, you have an input decorator with @, not a signal based, and you want to migrate that into signal based. Just run one command, it automatically changes all the required places. Instead of using @input decorator, they are converted into signal based input decorators. So that's how they have introduced this signal based migration commands. They have introduced the signal input migration, query migration and output migration. So these are the three migrations which helps us to migrate our normal decorators into signal based decorators. If you want to do all of these three at once, you can use ng generate @angular/core : signals, the last command which will help us to migrate all these three features into signal based. So that's about our migration queries or the commands which were given by Angular 19. And coming to linked signals, this is still in experimental mode, but still you can experiment this in our applications now. This helps us in creating a specific dependencies. For example, one signal is dependent on another signal and you want to manage that signals, then such signals are called as linked signals. Till Angular 18, we don't have this signal linking. That means one signal depending on another signal is not possible at all. And now by using Angular 19, you can use linked signals and that can be made stable in the upcoming versions. As of now, still it is in experimental mode. Maybe in 2025 release that could be coming into developer preview mode. Now let's talk about resource API. They have come up with a resource API which helps us to do asynchronous API calls. Till now, the signal APIs like input, output or query APIs, they are completely a synchronous handling in Angular, which are again signal based. But now they want to introduce asynchronous handling in Angular using signal APIs, and that's where they have introduced a new API called as resource API. Now Angular started working on this resource API, but it is still in experimental mode, and in 2025 we can expect in a developer preview, and later that could be a stable APIs. And now by using this resource API, you can avoid using of HTTP services or HTTP client services which are provided by our Angular in the before versions. Now they also made FX API into stable in Angular 19. Till Angular 18 they are in normal developer preview APIs, but now they made it as stable. So let me go into the next slide. Here we'll talk about zoneless. Now Angular 19 is not yet complete zoneless, but still they are trying to improvise this zoneless capability, but still they are having some other polishing which is pending from Angular team, and they mentioned that it would be in developer preview in 2025. Even many experiments gave massive results for this, so they want to completely remove zoneless, but still there is some work from the Angular team to use this zoneless, but this can be used in the experimental format by using this particular commands. If you are creating a new project and if you want to use zoneless, then you can use a command called as ng-new project name followed by an option called as experimental-zoneless. And for the existing applications, if you want to add this feature, you can add in your bootstrapping application of main.ts, where you can add provide experimental zoneless change detection so that your application will become zoneless. And now they also introduced a new pattern that is nothing but errors on unused imports. For example, whenever you are using an unused import in the modules, we don't get any errors. But now from Angular 19, they made it strict imports, and if it is not used at all in that particular component, then that will throw you an error while compiling. They also introduced a local variable in templates. You can create some set of local variables in the templates, that means HTML file, and then that can be used to display some set of data. That also we'll see experimentally in the upcoming videos. So stay tuned for Angular 19 features for real examples. So let me go into the next slide. So what are the different Angular Material 19 updates came in? So they have enhanced the theming API with Material 3 custom theming. So now the theming is very easy by using theme variables. So you can override the Material theme variables very easily, but it is very hectic in the before versions. And also they introduced a new support that is nothing but a two-dimensional drag and drop support for drag and drop component from CDK. So that is also one of the new introduction given in Angular Material 19, and they have introduced a new time picker component. Before we have a date, but now they came up with time picker as well, and they also introduced a upgrade of tab reordering. We have tabs capability, that means you can have multiple tabs, but the reordering is not possible in the previous Angular Material approach, but now it is introduced in Angular Material 19. So these are something which they have introduced in Angular 19 updates. So these are complete features which are provided by Angular team in an experimental way, in an developer preview, and some of them are completely stable. So in the upcoming video, I'll teach you how these features can be helpful. Hope this gave you a glance of Angular 19 features from end to end. Hope you like my explanation. If you like my video, like, share, subscribe to my channel for more updates. Signing off. Thank you.